part two. Part two. And it's called Bad Guys, Spy Guys. And you get medication, and it can really screw up your mind. And because you want to entrust person B, and you want to make sure that everything goes well, because you like what you're doing, and you don't want to lose anything, and you need that reassurance, because don't forget, the people that they look for to put in their little treasure trove are the ones that are supposedly very creative, very emotional, and very easy to manipulate. But what they didn't know about me is that I also have strong left brain skills, which I kept hidden and uncovered for a long time because I'm smart. But now I have to let everybody know this. Right? Did I get everything right so far?
Yes.
So
yes.
I was saying this in that other video. I don't remember the name or number of it, but just, look back. You probably access it off of our social media, our Facebook page. I think it's Noelle Rose and Red Ribbons, or I don't know, something like that. Something like that. You can access it. But we're going to actually redo a lot of those and re-release them, so you can just access them here on this channel, and also you can get the whole downloaded package for a very small fee. But anyway, I saw that this was actually not just me being creative or trying to come up with some screenplay or some dance. This was actually really happening, but they make it in real life time. Like how I was just saying, you just don't go into an office and then all of a sudden there's these lights and they hypnotize you. It's like, guys, A, that doesn't work. B, that's like a really bad 1970s cop show, and it doesn't work that way. They have to be more like a snake and slither in, very sinuous. And they use these methods that are real life commonplace type things. So do you see how I just gave you this information? It's in disguise. Or like, let's say you have an injury, they can also use that as an excuse. Medication, check your meds, guys. That is the one thing that is very easily accessible. Look at all these celebrities with all of their supposed accidental overdose deaths because of medication. My grandmother, going back quite a few decades, the one thing that I did when my family and I arrived at her place after she was deceased was I went through the medications right away, because that's the left side of my brain. I'll cry tomorrow. That was actually a Susan Hayward film. But nonetheless, it's a good practice. I have to be rational and stay right there and know what I need to do to stay, really, you can find your time to mourn later. So I went through the medicine cabinet, and I found, because of my knowledge and because you have a history now with medical stuff, because of your pharmacy, he's a farm tech, really interesting, right? So you know this too. And you say, oh my God, this is going to make her bleed. She can definitely have a heart attack. I called the doctor, never replied to me. I was pissed. But even that, I knew right away. Guys, get a very old copy of a pharmaceutical dictionary. Really. And get a new one too, and compare the two. See the different things. We have stuff like that. Very, very, very important. Very, very important. Be careful, guys. And I'm not saying that the pharmacy industry is bad or anything like that, but, anything in unscrupulous hands can be a problem. So, check. But anyway, getting back to the point. So they use and look for a means. Okay, you have an injury. Okay, let's use this kind of thing. And look at the pamphlet that says death can occur, kidney failure, anything. Look at that. It means something. If a doctor doesn't reveal it to you, ask. They're supposed to tell you these things. They are supposed to tell you these things before you take anything. It shouldn't be on the burden of the patient, but be your own best advocate and ask for that pamphlet and read it and ask for something older. And if you don't feel comfortable, sometimes all you have, and I love the fact that, right to trying experimental drugs, or drugs that I should say that haven't quite been approved yet or something. I don't mean to misspeak, but that is very important too, because sometimes you need to, and that can be very productive. So I'm not saying that either. Check. You must be your own advocate, because you know what, guys, if we are 100% right in what we're saying, we have a lot of things to be concerned about. Again, anything in the wrong hands, it could be the most beautiful thing, can be used to destroy a human being, society, anything. The internet, that could be such a beautiful thing. But look at, there's darknet, right? I don't know anything about that. He's told me a little bit about that, but in the wrong hands, right? So, you have to be careful. But let's get back to the whole point of why we went down this little bunny trail here. Tearing apart and the wedge method. Knowing this information that I deviated from the main path for a little bit to give you background, do you see how that all can be used to start manipulating this person to play against this person, meaning me? So now I'm going to be person me, and you're going to be person B, the one who was manipulating person A here. Okay, so now manipulate me. Here's the thing. And I know nothing about what's going on here until way many years after the fact, and I can piece it together. Okay, but at this point, we're going back in time. I was the ignorant fool who just wanted to love and help. Okay, go ahead. So you're person B.
Okay, so did you know that person A has been saying this about you?
And my response is, no. And then this person just so easily and willingly sends emails to me that make it look like person A really hates my guts and was trying to harm me in ways that I can't even discuss live and with you guys, because it's that horrendous. And like I said, I don't want to be disparaging to this person, especially now since I know the truth. At least I think so. Right? You saw it.
Yes.
And it was just like, phew. And it happened 2 years prior to, did you know, right?
Yes.
I had no flippin' idea. I didn't even know there was a person B or who this person was. And what gave it away, God bless person A. I love you if you're listening for doing this, because it was like the light of dawning. Thank God you did what you did. I'm surprised you don't know person B. We keep going back and forward. We actually need a third person here. Going back and forward between playing person B.
I'll be person A and I'm talking to you.
Me as
yes.
Okay.
I'm surprised you don't know who person B is.
Wait, what? I've never heard of this person before. Who are they? Right?
Yeah.
It's pretty much how it went down. We actually have the actual words, because as time goes on, you have to document it, guys, before time goes on, because it gets diluted. It really does. We do have that documented, the actual words, but it's pretty close. We're summarizing it. So then I'm like, oh gosh. So I told my husband, I said, I have no idea who this person is, never heard of them. So, right, you're that person again. And they thought I was lying. Well, of course they thought I was lying, because they entrusted person B was telling both of us the same thing, and they weren't. See how that works? This is the wedge. This is the process. So then I told my husband, and I'm like, I don't know who this person is, do you? Because sometimes, people will talk to him, and rightfully so. And I was like, I don't know who this person is. Not even slightly. So we called up the place in which this person was at, and we found out that they used 2 different last names. I do too, because I have, I have several names because different people own me. Stepfather, biological dad, family, adoptive, professional, married, you know. So I understand that. Okay, I'm not going to falsely accuse and say that person was purposely doing it. Who knows? I didn't know. But it was kind of hard to find this person because they were listed as their maiden name and then they had a, you know, so whatever. And we did find out. And one thing led to another, so my husband's like, why don't you find out what this is all about? And so we wrote a very nice professional letter. And this is what came back to us. The emails that we did, that they did, you know, this person and person B. And I had no idea. And person B, I would have to say, was not really fessing up to the fact that they were playing both sides. Who would? You're a bad guy. And it took a long time for us to figure this out. So then 2 years after the fact, they sent me this thing. It was horrifying. That person A, who I thought was my beloved, and then we just had moments, like, who doesn't? Every relationship has headbutting moments. I just always wrote it off as nothing. I still love you. But apparently, person A was being manipulated by person B to pretty much do, like I said, I can't even mention half the stuff, but it's all in lies, it's all horrible, and beloved, I'm saying, I'm not disparaging you, I refuse to do that, I refuse to believe that you were completely the bad guy in all of this, because like I said, isn't it great? This year is 2020, what a theme. Hindsight, you see so much clearer, but I was being played too. Hard, and so is this other one. You know, so anyway, so person B, I just want to show you guys all of this. It's just amazing. We have the evidence of all this. And then I'm like, why would anybody do this? So then I'm thinking that this person, like, hates me. Not in just, you know, you say, oh, I hate you, and it's just a girl fight type of thing. No, I thought that this person hated me and wanted the worst. You think of the worst thing possible, and that's what I thought, right? Mm-hmm. I was so heartbroken, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't understand. All I do is help this person. I called them out on one thing. This goes back to the Red Ribbons dance. I was like, you know, you don't want my dance in the show. Why? This helps people, and it was just very disturbing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was just, what a mess. So, like I said, now that I know more, it makes sense. At the time, I was so confused. And then they were giving me, hold on. Let's talk about a little bit about it while I get something, please. Oh my God.
Okay,
Oh, I'm back. So anyway, like I said, I journal, I have evidence of everything, and, you know, I really don't want to give a lot away, but I'll just say, during that same time, this is why I was so confused, you know, they gave me, what a beautiful note, too. I'm not going to show it, because this is very private, but, you know, I'm just saying, you okay?
yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying this was written to me, their handwriting, it was just so beautiful, and I still have copies of it with certain people to keep it safe, and I was like so confused. It's like, wait a minute, they just sent me this beautiful letter and thanking me, because every Christmas it was traditional for me, and not only me but other people, to give this person, you know, Christmas holiday gifts. Plus, I was raised to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm thinking that we have a really great relationship that just, like I said, just head-butted. And then I'm having other people around this person saying, nope, 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 it's evil, and she's evil, and that person's evil, and I'm like, shocked me. So anyway, 2 years later, this incident happens where you were saying your thing. I'm surprised you don't know this person. So I had no clue who this person was, but after going through, guys, we searched, and my husband was like, why don't you call the main switchboard and just ask for these different names and see where you get. like I said, I had no idea. I didn't know how a school ran. I didn't know how any of these things ran. I didn't know how this certain one place ran. But anyway, but by connecting everything, I was able, and my husband, we were all able to figure out where they located and got to the bottom of it. So then this thing came to us, all these documents, and I'm like, why was a false complaint filed against me? And see, the whole thing was to tear me and this other person apart, because if we compared notes, these people who were in charge and who were doing these things to both of us would have been so busted. Big, 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 big trouble. Big trouble. So, I'm trying to be cool about it, and I want to say the best on behalf of this person, that they were trying to be cool about it. But they would always say certain things to me. I was like, why are you saying these things to me? I had no knowledge of this. I had no flippin' clue what was going on. So, still, they're trying to create this wedge thing. And I'm like, to hell with that. I don't need to talk to this person at all. And I don't mean it in a like, you pissed me off, I don't like you anymore type of thing because of all the stuff that you put me through because you did some weird stuff. Not like that at all. But what I'm trying to say is I have enough truth and fact to do what I need to do, legally, honestly, and factually. Redeem and vindicate my name, clear everything up. Like I said, I don't need that person. But the good news about it is that I know and can now identify when this is being done to me, to us, to my company, members, board, because of this incident, right? Mm-hmm. So I gave you an example of how these people like to tear apart and use the wedge method. It can be very effective if you are not savvy to it, okay? Whenever you suspect anything kind of wonky and weird going on, backtrack in the timeline, and then regurgitate it going forward. They hate that. They want confusion. And remember the Satan list and the godly list? Satan and minions of Satan and bad, evil people, spy people, they want confusion. Don't let confusion happen. Document anytime you have a new thing happen. Make a timeline and document it straight out and start putting your supportive facts with it. Okay? We're being honest and open. We've filed complaints at the government level, and we're having to go even higher, which so be it, because these people are snakes. Let me tell you something. You have to, and we've learned, keep it fluid all the way through. It's a pain in the ass to go back, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But it's easily done. You just gotta sit down and say, okay guys, what's on the agenda for today? Alright, let's straighten this one out. And it can be done. It doesn't take long. It's just a pain in the ass. And then you filter it through. Because they know that confusion is their ally, and non-confusion, sanity is on the good guy's side. So that's also part of the list. Let me write that one down really quick here. Confusion. That's the opposite of confusion.
Being stable, or not really that focused.
Focus, yeah, I can't really think of these words right now, but whatever. My migraine is just flaring up really bad. Screw it, I don't care. Okay, so we went through item 1A, which is tear apart wedge method. There are other methods that these people love to do. Would you like to read the next one?
Yes. Article B, which is infiltrate and befriend. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to give an example of that?
Yes. They send someone to become your friend, and they use that as an access point to your information. Mm-hmm. Like, let's say that friend becomes like a worker in your company, and that person is basically volunteering to do work for free, which is basically work with like your website and things where they can see important information.
And access your email and access your social media. Don't do it. Keep it in the family. Have somebody that you've known for years that you can obviously like trust and prove that trust. Do not let anybody do your social media, guys. Either do it yourself, which is a pain in the rear end, or just decide that social media, we survived without it beforehand. I'm not being derogatory. I'm not trying to disparage social media. I'm just saying if you're having problems, root out these people, because that could be an access point. Now, they could be great. They may even produce really good numbers, reaction. Be very careful. Look, the wolves in sheep clothing, they like to act like, oh no, I'm really good at this. Look, see, I have evidence of it, and they'll show you, hey, look what I did with this social media. But this is what we're suspect of, and we're coming very close to actually proving this. So just hypothetically, let's just say this person accesses your social media, and your numbers do go up. Well, how do we know that they don't actually have a connection with the social media and just say, hey, make me look good because this is how I'm infiltrating? Or maybe they're actually from that social media infiltrating because they might be doing something for free, but it's going to cost you tens and tens of thousands of dollars in the long run because they have access to everything. And then all of a sudden, people are trying to access you. We've had this happen, trying to communicate with us, and they're not getting through because, hey, he who controls communication will control the world in a sense, your world. So if you don't want that to happen, guys, I strongly suggest that you seriously now, do not let these people in. Why am I turning this on? I'm burning up and I'm sweating and I'm freezing at the same time. I really hate this virus. Okay, so how do you protect yourself then? Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but yes, like he said, they will infiltrate, try to befriend, and give you things for free and everything like that. So now, there are people, don't be mistaken, because I have helped, but I wasn't infiltrating. I have to say, you know what, I need to be very careful and cautious. So how do I demonstrate that I didn't infiltrate? I don't use their contacts, number one. Number two, I really love people and want to help them. And I couldn't even tell you half of the things that they were entrusting me. I don't do other people's social media. I refuse. I don't even want to do my own. I can't stand it. But, you have to be very, very careful. And then I have to be careful too, because I don't want to be falsely accused of the very things we're talking about. So I was always very careful, and I would say, look, no, I'm not doing this because I don't want it to come out this way in the end where you blame me for something. So, if I help somebody, I am very careful. It's very well documented. But there are some people you don't want to become too hyper suspicious of everybody because there are legitimate people. You have to be careful you don't get caught in their funnel, marketing funnel, their group network of people, because it can be very dizzying and they're like a gang and they don't want you to get out. Period. I mean, right? Look how hard we've had it. So when they infiltrate, guys, be very aware that this can even happen. If you're aware that this can even happen, it might not happen to you. And the more and more verbal we are, and that's why we're writing books about this stuff, because we want to help you. We don't want anybody to go through what we did. But they can access and infiltrate you and come alongside of you and act like your best friend. Now look at the Selena story, right? She had, I don't know the whole story at all. I liked the music she did, and she was beautiful, and it was really a tragedy that she passed the way she did. But somebody very close to her apparently murdered her. So you have to be careful. I have a type of personality that a lot of people are just very drawn to me, good and bad people. So I have to be careful for the same reasons. So when you start seeing these things, you have to start tearing them apart, not the person, but the actions and deeds. You got to be careful. Okay, so, that's one thing that they like to do. They'll try to access things to control, even email. We've always had, as far as I know, very good people doing our email. We're very much concerned about the platform of the email because it's not our program. We're very concerned about the host as well. So, because right now they're only letting their people contact us. I'm like, that's also another tip off, that something's very wrong. That only certain people are allowed to access you.
Yeah.
Because I'm their commodity. They want to control the mechanism. It's a control mechanism. Who gets in, who gets out. They want to keep their people in. They want me out of the way so they can take Rubans Rouges, Noelle's pill, all of this and make it their commodity. And it's money. It's all money. It's all using things as fronts so money can pass through to the real thing, ain't gonna happen with me. They don't like that I'm standing up, and I don't give a rat's ass. Okay, next.
Alright, next one. To set up situations to get you in trouble, look bad, or degrade your status.
Now, be careful again. Like I said, some people need their status degraded because they're evil. But you have to consider where it's coming from, too. Set up situations to get you in trouble, look bad. That's exactly what was happening between me and this other person. Because person B was doing it. Trying to get us both in trouble. Trying to get us to both look bad in each other's eyes. Like there was always the pressure with me to file complaints. Like heavy duty complaints. And then in some cases, this person wasn't strong enough to say, wait a minute, I know that person. No, I know that person. There's something else going on. I always said, no, I know that person, even though that they might have bad days and we might do this. No, I trusted in something bigger than me, bigger than the problem, or bigger than us, that no, there's something else going on. But really, this person B, was very effective to make me think that this person hated me. Really. Yeah. It was very hateful.
Another thing, these people always try to make these situations seem like they're real. In other words, they try to make the lie something that's actually true when it's not in the first place.
Exactly. So there was probably, no, you know what? I know this for a fact because this person told me, well, if you don't hate me, right? You were witness to it, then I don't hate you either. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, and it was like, I've got things to do, you've got things to do. They got choked up a little bit with tears. He noticed that. I didn't. I was just so shocked that they were just saying that they didn't hate me because all of a sudden the narrative changed. So, you know what? No, I know this person doesn't hate me. Beloved, okay, if you don't ever want to have a relationship with me, I'm not pressing the point. I'm just saying, get in touch with my board. Get in touch with my people. You can trust them. Tell them what you know. Okay? It has nothing to do with our relationship. But if something bad was done to you and I don't even know about it, but because of this stuff, we can help you and we want to, and I would want to. And it wouldn't be an attempt to get the relationship unless you wanted it. Like I said, I'm open to be friends with anybody and everybody. That could be my downfall, but I'm not going to change because I love people. They want me to hate people. I'm not saying I haven't had the emotion of it, because when things like this are being done to you in your humanness, how do you react? It's very hateful. But, I'm calming down with that because I'm starting to see that these mofos are real. They're nuts. Anyway, so, yeah. They wanted us to believe the lie. Once we have, as that saying goes, I refer to it and I never know the whole gist of it. Once we've caused everyone to believe the lie, we'll know that we've been successful. Something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I know for a fact that this person does not hate me, but it took a long time because it looked like that because person B was doing that. They were setting us both up. I didn't know that this person thought that